Welcome back to OT Sports. Today we got our divisional round NFL playoff predictions. If you guys are liking these prediction videos for the NFL, we do this every single week. Make sure you leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We got loads of content around here. College basketball, college football, NFL, NBA, and MLB. That's what we do around here. We usually, at some points of the year, we're doing 4 videos a week. Other times, not so much. It kind of just depends on what seasons are going on. Um, but yeah, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notifications to make sure you don't miss out on any of our videos. We're doing about 3 a week right now, so a little less because college football is over, but we do plenty of college football when that season is up and about, and same with MLB. Right now it's just college basketball, NBA, and NFL. As always, my Discord and X are linked in the description. You could join that, you could follow that, whatever you'd like to do. But let's move into the standings. So I am in first place still. I got a 5-point lead over Matthew. And for those of you who don't know how we do it, I'll just give you a quick refresher. During the regular season, if you get the game right, you get a win for 1 point. If you get a game wrong, you get a loss. It's only one. So yeah, just one point for regular season games. Playoff games, we do 2 points for a win, 2 points for a loss. So, you guys know how records work, I'm assuming. Really just look at the first record, or the first number if you don't. I got 182. Matthew has 177, so he is still alive for first place. But, he's going to need some help to go his way. And at this point, Ben and, everyone else behind him are officially out of first place. Now Matthew can still drop to third place. Ben can still get second place. He just can't get first place because there's 15 total points still available. Super Bowl's 3, and I have a 16-point lead. So I'm either getting first or second. I've won the past 2 years. I'm hoping for the three-peats, but we will see what happens this week. So let's move in right into the first game. Texans, Ravens. So everyone's on the Ravens. And for good reason. They're 9-point favorites. They got the 1 seed, so they had the bye, they had the rest. But looking at the Texans, they put up a very impressive performance against the Browns last week. By the way, I only got 2 of the 6 games right last week. They put up a very impressive performance against the Browns. I was not expecting them to go out there and light up the Browns defense like they did. C.J. Stroud looked very good. He looked like he had no troubles whatsoever. He looked very experienced. I was worried about the inexperience against the defense, the Browns defense in the playoffs, but Texans put up 45 points and won by 31 points. It was never really a question. The Browns were in it for a little bit, but once Flacco threw those 2 pick sixes in a row, it was pretty much over, and the Texans just never looked back. C.J. Stroud had a phenomenal game, like I said. The Browns defense, it wasn't just the Texans defense, creating points off turnovers. The Browns defense didn't look good at all when the Texans were on offense. They had everything going for them. C.J. Stroud almost threw for 300 yards. He had 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. Nico Collins had a great game. And yeah, it was just an all-around really impressive performance for the Houston Texans, which kind of makes me, want to go with the Texans. I was considering it, but just, I can't go against the Ravens. They got the 1 seed for the reason. They've been the best team in the NFL up to this point. For the whole regular season, they have the best record. They beat the Niners, who's the other 1 seed, and it's tough to go against the Ravens. With their defense looking and offense, Lamar's gonna win MVP. You got the defense, Roquan Smith, doing their thing. Probably a top 5 offense and top 5 defense. Having no Mark Andrews hurts them, but I just gotta go with the Ravens. It's a safe pick, and this was. I was pretty close to taking the Texans, actually, believe it or not. It's just hard going against the Ravens. Typically I don't like picking the Ravens in the playoffs just because of their style of play, but this year's a little different. They have a very very dominant defense. So I actually do like them a lot more this year. Also against the Texans, still a very young team. Now I know they proved me wrong last week when I said that, but again, it's tough trusting a rookie quarterback in the playoffs. Now I know C.J. Stroud was in the MVP conversation at one point in the season. He's already a top 10 quarterback in the league, in my opinion. So he's proved himself. He's gonna win Rookie of the Year. It's kind of just, it's kind of just, I don't know. I said the same thing last week. It's a young team going up against this very dominant defense. The difference this time, though, it's going to be a road game for the Texans, and the Ravens are a much better team than the Browns. Lamar Jackson is, uh, a mile ahead of Joe Flacco at this point in his career. So it's going to be tough for the Texans. I could see them doing it. I really could. Um, but this one, it's hard to go. It's hard to go against the Ravens here. They just look so dominant all year. So I'm going to go with the Ravens along with everyone else. Um, so yeah, that's a guarantee in the playoffs. Pretty crazy. I thought about going with the Texans, but I just can't. It's a little too risky. I got to go with the safe pick. I'm going to take the Ravens. Moving on to the next game, we got Packers versus 49ers. The Cowboys collapsed in the playoff once again. The Packers beat them in the playoffs once again. And now the Packers have more wins in AT&T Stadium in the playoffs than the Cowboys do. So that is pretty pathetic if you're a Cowboys fan. Jordan Love played almost the exact same game as C.J. Stroud, almost 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And yeah, the Packers offense just really lit them up. 48-32 was the final score. Packers were up 27-7 at halftime. And they really never looked back. And the Cowboys were trying to make it interesting. I thought maybe they started out the second half with a field goal, but then just right after, the Packers just continued to score. And the Cowboys defense really just couldn't stop them at all. Aaron Jones had a huge day, 118 yards, 3 touchdowns. Romeo Doubs was open all the time. Dak Prescott had 400 yards, but that was really because they were just passing the ball a bunch because they were losing. And yeah, like I said, the Cowboys defense just collapsed. Nothing was going for them, and the Packers steal a playoff win, first playoff win for Jordan Love in his career, and he looks very good. And at this point, I think the sky's the limit for this team. I honestly feel like the Packers have a better chance of beating the Niners than the Texans do of the Ravens, and I was close to picking the Ravens, or I was close to picking the Texans last week. Although I still do I think the Packers are worse than the Texans, but I think the Niners are worse than the Ravens. I don't know. It's something about the Packers in the playoffs. They just find a way to get it done. Aaron Jones just turns it on in the playoffs. Jordan Love looked phenomenal in his first playoff game last week, and really the whole team did. But the Niners, it's hard to go. It's hard to go with the 7 seed winning another game, making it to the NFC Championship. It is the Packers, so they've done it many times. But I gotta go with the Niners. I'm gonna play it safe once again. It's hard not to pick the Niners here. They're at home, they're 9-point favorites. I could see it. Brock Purdy, he was okay last year in the playoffs until he got hurt. But he led them to the NFC Championship before he got hurt, and it was like John Johnson or something like that. That quarterback, they were on like their 4th string. I don't know. It's just hard not to go with the Niners, man. They're the 1 seed for a reason. They've had the week off. The Packers just played a game. The Niners have been preparing the whole week, and now they're gonna get a rookie or not a rookie quarterback, but kind of a rookie. It's his first full season starting. Like I said, though, he did look very good against the Cowboys, and I doubted them last week. So if I doubt him again, does it come back to bite me? It's hard not to go with the Niners here. I gotta go with them. Their whole team is just loaded. I'm interested to see how Packers defense handles this Niners offense. Is a lot better than I won't say a lot better, but it is better than the Cowboys in my opinion. And the Niners defense is better than the Cowboys defense also. And the Cowboys defense just looked atrocious. I mean, if the Packers play offensively the way they did last week, then they probably will win the game. I just don't see them doing that. Kyle Shanahan's a really good coach. Matt LaFleur is too, but got to go with the Niners at home here. They're 9-point favorites. It's hard to go against that. Moving on to the other NFC game, Lions Buccaneers, and we got again a bunch of guys on the Lions, and I'm gonna join them. Um, you know, the Buccaneers did impress against the Eagles. They dominated the whole game. There was no real question who was gonna win that game. Right off the bat, the Buccaneers just took control and they never looked back, um, which was pretty shocking to me. The Eagles just fell off towards the end of the year, and it was tough to watch. But Baker Mayfield leads this team to a playoff win. Now they're going up against the Lions, who coming off a huge home win against Matthew Stafford and the Rams. That was probably the best game of last week. It was a close game, came down to the wire, but the Lions hold on and squeak it out, and Jared Goff moves on. Um, the Lions are at home here. I could see Baker Mayfield doing it, but this is probably the easiest game for me to pick. It's just something about this line. I mean, I don't know. I just can't trust Baker Mayfield. Now, I know he just went out and beat the Eagles, but this time the game's going to be on the road. It's a little bit different. The Lions are 6.5-point favorites. They won 12 games. The Buccaneers only won 9. So I gotta go with the Lions in this one. It's just hard to go against. It's hard to go against them. I picked them to lose last week. I also picked the Bucks to lose though, so I doubted them both last week. I'm gonna go with the Lions here. I think the Lions win over the Rams was more impressive than the Bucks win over the Eagles, just because I really thought the Rams had a chance to potentially make the Super Bowl. I thought they were a very good team, but the Lions came out with the win, so I'm going to go with them again here. And then a final game, Chiefs versus Bills, and again, you just see everyone on the Bills. It's pretty crazy to be in this one. This is probably the hardest game to pick of the week. It's the smallest spread. It's only a 3-point spread in favor of Buffalo. This one's going to be in Buffalo. But, you can't really make an excuse for the weather because the Chiefs just played in -30. So, both these teams are used to the cold. We've seen these two play in the playoffs many years. Feels like in a row. I think it has been many years in a row, actually. Last time, this is the last time these two teams played. Mahomes, he was that the last time? I think that was when he, 13 seconds left, he leads the team down, ties the game, and then they go on to win. But the Bills this time are at home, and this is apparently this is Mahomes' first road playoff game, which is crazy to say. So we'll see. Maybe that affects him a little bit. Josh Allen and the Bills will have this one at home this time, which I think could be different. The fans there are going to get crazy. So they're not going to be in Arrowhead with those crazy fans. They're going to be in Buffalo with the Bills Mafia. And the Bills coming off a kind of disappointing performance against the Steelers. I don't want to say disappointing, but 31-17. I thought they would handle business a little more than that. The Chiefs handled business a lot better than I thought they would. 26-7 over the Dolphins. Maybe that was because of the weather, but I don't know. This one could definitely go either way. But I'm gonna go with my guts, my original prediction, and I'm gonna take the Bills. I think this is the Bills' year to make something happen. They have been falling short year after year after year. There were talks about firing their coaches. Josh Allen's handled a lot of adversity in this career. So has the whole team. Stephon Diggs, Dalton Kincaid being a rookie, James Cook. Their defense, very solid defense. The Chiefs have very solid defense as well, but something about this year for the Chiefs, it's just not sitting right. I feel like the receivers might let down Mahomes a little bit once again, because Chiefs offense is like outside the top 20 this year, which is crazy when you have Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, but it really just hasn't been the same this year. So something about this Chiefs team just, pointing me the other direction. So I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna go with the Bills. I think this is their year, and I think at this point, I think there's three teams that could legitimately win the Super Bowl. I got the Ravens, the Niners, and the Bills. I don't think any other team really has a chance to win the Super Bowl. And my original Super Bowl prediction was Bills Niners, so I'm going to keep that team alive. I'm going to go with the Bills. They're at home. They're 3-point favorites. And I think this is the year where they finally get over the hump and make the AFC Championship. So yeah, so it's gonna do it. Everyone was kind of on one team. We had all guarantees except for one person took the Packers over the Niners, but he always takes the Packers. So kind of a not like a super crazy week, but I think the games should be pretty good, most of them. Texans, Ravens, Packers, Niners. Actually, honestly, all of them should be pretty close games. I'm really surprised that everyone took the same team for all four games. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Turn on the notifications to make sure you don't miss out on any of our videos. Got college basketball, college football, NFL, NBA, MLB. That's kind of all the stuff we do. As always, my Discord and X are linked in the description. You can join that, you can follow that, whatever you'd like to do. But I will see you guys tomorrow with another episode of NBA Playoff Watch. You don't want to miss it. So make sure you turn on the notifications. And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow.